JMats here for GenerationD20.com and just entered into a M12 draft. Wow, that's a lot of white in a single pack. Um, Good thing about that would be that you could very easily get some white back. Bad thing is you're going to be sending signals. Fire Slinger is not my favorite first pick, but it's kind of between that and like the Arachnus Web, and I think I would rather go red than green, so Fire Slinger it shall be. And it doesn't look like it was too bad of a choice, because here normally I would go removal over creature, but shock is like the weakest of the red removal, and the Gorehorn Minotaurs are just like one of the best of their creatures, so I'm gonna go with the creature. Best card here is maybe Timely Reinforcements. Arsonist is probably my pick. Frost Breath isn't bad. Another Arachnus Web. Phantasmal Bear can also lay down the beats, but I'm just going to stick red for now. And the Goblin Grenade then becomes a little bit more interesting, since I now am up to 2 goblins. Obviously I'd like another Fire Slinger. Looks like there's some good options in black, but Grenade can just be such an explosive ending that I think I have to take it. And it's uncommon, so I may not see another one. Staying to color, go with the Blood Ogre. Aether Adept would be very nice as well. But with red, it curves out so nicely on its own that you don't always have to. I mean, it's best to find another color, because there's probably, 3 cards in another color that are going to be best than the last 3 cards in a single color. That being said, red is one of the colors that has the most depth, and cutting it very hard, pack 1, if it pays off, if you start getting some late, Chandra's Outrage sometimes comes around later than it should. Here it would be either Azure Mage, which is probably the strongest card here, or continue to cut red like I talked about. I don't mind pairing red and blue, and I feel like it's a pretty significant gap between the power of Azure Mage and the power of the red cards, so I'll take the Mage. Not saying I'm going to play blue for sure, but here, Slaughter Cry is probably the pick. It can, when you know someone's going to be blocking, it can do some serious damage. Piker is okay, and when we have a grenade, the more goblins we have, the better. That being said, Combust can deal with a lot of the problems that a red deck will face, namely flyers, and I think I would rather have that at this point. I think I'm going to be able to pick up a 2-1 later on if I really want to. So Arachnus Web tabled, which is, in my opinion, shameful. I don't even know what people took most of those white cards. I'll take the Arachnus Web. It's really is pretty decent removal. And if we go red splash green, I'd be okay with that too. The nice thing about Arachnus Web also is that it deals with some of its removal for some things that can be annoying otherwise. It can shut down things that are pretty situational, or things, normally if they're out of burn range, then they're going to be big enough that they're out of Arachnus Web range, but it can also just be used as a temporary one-term, sorry, you can't block, my guys are going to get through. So going off of that, probably Plummet would be the best card if I do end up playing that. Oh, and there's the other Arachnus Web, so green is fairly open. And right now, unless something changes, I'm probably going to go red-green. I want to avoid things like Garrick's Companion, anything with like double green early, because I'm probably going to want to play almost 2-to-1 red, because my red first drops are going to be the key to getting these guys activated. And so, what am I dealt now that I've decided I want to be green-red? A pack that offers me very, very little for my colors. Reassembling skeleton might be the most annoying thing here. I could take Manic Vandal on color. I think I'll take the skeleton. It just, I mean, it's so much more powerful. Naturalize table, Manic Vandal, Might table. Okay, here I can get the Outrage. Doomblade there also, so someone's picking up a nice little bonus there. And Gideon's Lockkeeper, it makes you wonder, someone took a common out of this pack, and it really makes you wonder what it is, but I'm going to stick to my guns and go with the Outrage. And here, I've said some bad things about Volcanic Dragon in the past, mostly because it's just a little bit slower than you want, but that being said, it can be a good finisher, can be a nice surprise. Okay, if you're going to give me a Doomblade at this point, I'm going to take it and look to see what happens next. Because it's possible, like here, Gravedigger or Onyx Mage are tempting. The Shock's probably still going to be my pick. But it definitely makes you consider whether or not green or black is the place to be when something like Devouring Swarm shows up. I guess I'll play the field a little bit, see which color ends up giving me better options. Here, Lurking Crocodile is a bloodthirst creature. If you're playing blue, it's a pretty good one. And Deathmark is cheap removal, but removal nonetheless. Got a Manic Vandal back, so that would be a possibility. Or even the Warpath Ghoul is acceptable. I think I'll take the Crocodile. I'm still not completely sold on. I mean, technically I could play 3 colors. I wouldn't be surprised if I splashed a little bit of green and a little bit of black. Doomblade, maybe the skeleton, maybe not even that. And of course now we get a really powerful blue card late. But take the Crimson Mage, it's on color, it's useful. We're low on 2 drops here. Manic Vandal versus Naturalize. Take the Manic Vandal. Here, nothing's gonna make the deck. Maybe take the Visage. Gotta Naturalize anyway. And a Bear. And Disentomb, sure, why not? Ooh, but I got a foil land. So that's going to make this whole draft worth it. Should I lose in the first round or something? At least I'll be going home with a foil land. Natural Edge is not going to be main deck. Honestly, Combust is probably not going to be main deck. And we'll figure out which color combination is stronger. So I'm either at 10 creatures or 9 creatures. Well, and that right there tells me that I guess I'm going to be playing black, because Grave Titan is just too big of a bomb to pass up. Sword's Thirst would be nice, but Incinerate is definitely the pick here. Go ahead and just hide those green cards. Let's face it, we are now very much a black-red deck. Another Goblin Grenade could be a little too much, but I'll take it because if I can pick up 1 or 2 more goblins, that can be such a powerful finisher. Overrun is tempting just to hate pick it, but with the Dust Hunter bat here and having a Bloodthirst enabler or 2, hitting the skies early can be pretty effective. So I'm at 12, and that's main decking a Manic Vandal and a Bonebreaker Giant, which is not the worst thing in the world, but Crimson Mage would be real nice if we're giving this guy haste. Okay, so Scepter of Empires would be one possibility. Diabolic Tutor actually would be a possibility, since I have some specific things that I would want to dig out of it. If you have a Grave Titan, there's a chance. It gives me like 2 chances of getting it instead of 1. So maybe I'll do that. Nice thing about Grave Titan is there are very few things. There's Pacifism, there's Oblivion Ring, Fireball, but very few things that can successfully knock him out. Okay, we're still a little bit low on creatures. So I could go Manic Vandal or Rusted Sentinel. Kind of sending 2 different signals there. I think I'll take the Rusted Sentinel. And another Volcanic Dragon. Don't really want 3 6-drops, but here Lightning Elemental's probably not going to make the deck. Divination's way better card, but I'll take it. Bang Chuckers isn't bad, but I think Piker just would fit better, especially since I have the double grenade and might want to use that. Got a Bang Chuckers anyway. And Warpaint plus Bang Chuckers can be a pretty nice combination. And now I'm getting high enough that I might be able to cut a couple of these so-so creatures. Mind Rod is definitely a consideration in this deck. Cut those 2. Put me at 14. I do have kind of high casting costs, so I almost have to get down to 23 cards. Okay. Well, obviously Grave Titan. The tutor's debatable, because it's a little bit expensive, but if I'm searching up my Grave Titan, it's probably worth it. Guardian Swarm is good, Mind Rot is good, Doomblade, Dusk Hunter Bat, and Reassembling Skeleton. Then on this side, probably went both Volcanic Dragons, Gorehorn, Chandra's Outrage, Blood Ogre, Incinerate, Goblin Piker, Crimson Mage, Shock, both Goblin Grenades, and the other Goblins. Then it gets a little bit more creative. I think I'll put in Goblin Bang Checkers, because it combos with Goblin Grenade and can be powerful, and because of that also, Goblin Warpaint, because if you can get that on the Bang Checkers and do reoccurring shenanigans, it can be pretty good. Looking at the curve at this point, I'm a little bit low in the 3 spot, which makes me want either, Slaughter Cry is often going to end up just being removal, because someone's going to be willing to trade with you in combat. Manic Vandal is probably, I'd probably rather sideboard that in. I could get real aggressive and say, there's probably going to be white or blue that I'm playing against, but I think I'll wait on that. Go with the Slaughter Cry. Let's see if I can get some beneficial situation. I guess the other argument would be I could Disentomb so that after I trade something here, I get it back. I'm going to go Slaughter Cry. I like Slaughter Cry a lot. Okay, it's suggesting 6-11, which kind of makes sense. I think I'm going to go 7-10. And again, that's because if I get to Diabolic Tutor, I want to be able to cast it. I want to be able to find my Grave Titan. And so, there is the deck. Let's separate these piles a little bit. Just look at creatures versus spells. Well, the creatures are spells, but hopefully you get my drift. So I should be able to establish a board state, have a fair number of creatures there in the 1, 2, and 3 drops. If I can get a couple of those down and enable some of the Bloodthirst, that'll definitely help too. Alright, I am submitting the deck, and I will see you in round 1.